Super Mario Galaxy is my favorite video game in the Mario series, and since it's been a while since I've talked about Super Mario Galaxy, and since I played this game during the Thanksgiving holiday, I thought that now would be the perfect time to talk about it. Super Mario Galaxy has some breathtaking levels. Some of the levels were beautiful, some of the levels were a stroke of genius, and other levels were both. Today, I want to talk about some of the most clever levels in the game, and I want you guys to keep in mind, this is not a list of my favorite galaxies. This is just the galaxies that I thought were the most creative and the most unique to me.
Before I start talking about the galaxies, I should probably explain how each of the levels work if you're not aware. Super Mario Galaxy is Nintendo's third 3D Mario game and is very different from its predecessors. Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine's levels are not linear like Super Mario Galaxy's levels were. Super Mario Galaxy had different paths that you could take to get a star in some of the levels, but for the most part, the levels had only one way to get a star. Sometimes the levels had a secret star which gave you an alternate route in a level to get you a different star. In Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine, the levels were more open-ended and you could get almost any star you wanted. Like, for example, in Super Mario 64, you could get the last star in Bomb Bomb Battlefield in the first mission. Anyway, now that I've explained how the galaxies work compared to the other games, let's talk about the galaxies from Super Mario Galaxy. Good Egg Galaxy is the first real level that you can play. There is of course the tutorial level beforehand, but that level's pretty linear and doesn't have a lot of the game's features present. Good Egg Galaxy, however, starts to introduce some of the other types of puzzles in the game. In the first mission, there is a point where the player can either go into a pipe to go and do an extra part of the level for fun and get a 1-up, or you could take a path where you have to dodge rolling chomps and kill a big piranha plant, which is the shorter path, but there's no 1-up. The level presents the player with two different choices that he or she has to decide to take, which is a nice touch to make the level feel more open-ended even though it is still a linear level. This is also the galaxy that introduces bosses to the game. This galaxy has two different bosses, one being Dino Piranha and the other being King Caliente. Out of the two, King Caliente is more creative. What makes King Caliente a good boss fundamentally is the fact that the way to kill him is indirectly shown to the player before he or she even gets to see him. There is a part before the fight where the player is on a ship and there are two enemies shooting coconuts and fireballs at the player. They realize that they need to kill them in order to advance, so when the player sees a green coconut and a red fireball, the player is obviously going to know to hit the green coconut because green is a positive color and obviously you're not going to want to hit a fireball because it's going to hurt you. So when the player hits a coconut, it kills the enemy. And guess how you kill King Caliente? By hitting him with a green coconut. If you're interested to hear more about King Caliente, then you can check out my Know Your Bosses video about him. Sorry for the plug-in, but I felt like it was an appropriate time to do it for anyone who's more curious about King Caliente. Anyway, another thing that makes Good Egg Galaxy creative is the fact that the levels have no theme to it. Most Mario levels will have a specific theme that accompanies it, like a fire level, a castle level, a desert level, and so on. But this level is a bunch of different types of planets that don't have much correlation to each other, which I think makes the level even more memorable. You can argue that the level has a space theme to it, but all the levels have a space theme, because the game takes place in space. The second level in Good Egg Galaxy introduces a new feature to the game, where you're required to feed star bits to a hungry Luma in order to advance in the level. This makes the player spend time exploring distant planets looking for star bits so that he or she can move on. This is a nice feature because it allows the player to be able to explore the worlds and not just rushing through them to get the star, which is a nice change for the Mario formula. And finally, there are trials called Prankster Comets that appear at random after a certain point in the game that adds challenges to levels that the player's already beaten. Good Egg Galaxy has two different comets that appear. One of them is a speed run of the first mission, and the other one is a purple coin challenge. This is a nice touch because it takes the player back to the levels that he or she have already beaten and adds new twists to the level. The speedrun challenge requires the player to find the fastest path to take so that he or she can finish the level before the time runs out. And the purple coin mission brings the player back to the level just to have a relaxing time walking through the planets collecting all 100 purple coins. I know I've been talking about Good Egg Galaxy for a while now, so I'll move on to the next galaxy. Freeze Flame Galaxy is a level that doesn't appear in Mario games that much. Normally, whenever a level has a specific theme, there is only one main theme to it, but this galaxy decides to throw that all out the window and have a fire theme, an ice theme, and a fire and ice theme, which I wish Mario games would do more of. Let's start by talking about the first level in the galaxy, the Frozen Peak of Baron Burr. The reason why this level is the most complex is because it introduces a new power-up and it has a hidden star. I will talk about the new power-up first. The power-up is the Ice Flower, which gives Mario the ability to skate on water and lava and stand on fountain-like platforms. What makes this power-up different from some of the other power-ups is the fact that it only lasts for a certain amount of time, like the Invincibility Star does. This makes puzzles involving the Ice Flower to be more fast-paced and to make the players have to think quick and know where and what he or she is doing. The secret star for this level involves climbing to the top of a mountain. In order to be able to get to the secret star, the player has to do a triple jump using the fountains that only work when Mario has an ice flower. Of course, it's possible to do a backflip and spin to make it to the mini launch star. After that, the player has to start using the fire flower power-up to burn down all the snowmen that block the path to the star. The reason why I like talking about this secret star in particular is because it's one of the few secret stars that is on the same planet as the normal star. Most of the secret stars in Super Mario Galaxy have their own planet or are on a planet before the main star. This is the closest level in the game to resemble a level from Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. I remember this galaxy sticking out to me the most as a kid because I felt that the levels were more open to explore than other ones and had more to do. The next thing I want to talk about is the third mission, Hot and Cold Collide. One half of the world is frozen and the other half is on fire. This level requires the player to use both the fire flower and the ice flower in order to be able to solve all the puzzles, which is a pretty cool concept in my opinion. The first part of the level requires that the player gets the fire flower from the fire part of the world to the ice part of the world to light the torches so that Mario can get to the next planet. And after that, the player needs to use the ice flower to surf on top of lava and ice blocks to get to the star. This is such a different direction, no pun intended by the way, for a Mario game to take, and I love it. Freeze Flame Galaxy has one of the best themes out of all the galaxies in the game, in my opinion anyway. There is another galaxy, however, that gives this one some competition. Toy Time Galaxy is such a fun level. Not only does this galaxy have the most creative theme, but it also has one of the most creative bosses as well as some diverse areas. The first mission of the level, Heavy Metal Mecha Bowser, has a story going on in the background. You have to of course go and talk to some of the robots that are present in the level. One of the robots will tell Mario about how some of the other robots have been captured by Mecha Bowser, and that he needs to go and save them. This is the planet that you go to right after the train station, which is the first planet in the galaxy. And guess what this planet looks like? It looks like a city. Coincidence? I think not. After that, the player goes to a planet that he or she has to climb up. And this is the planet that introduces the spring power-up. But I'm going to ignore that power-up because of how bad it is. The only thing that I'll say about it is that it actually is pretty creative, but it's just not my favorite power-up in the game. There are so many other power-ups that were super creative. Once the player gets to Mecha Bowser, he or she has to destroy it by unscrewing all its screws and by breaking its head. This boss fight reminds me of a Shadow of the Colossus boss fight because you're climbing on a huge monster and you're trying to destroy it just like you would in Shadow of the Colossus. The only other boss fight that resembles Mecha Bowser in this game is Mega Leg, but I will talk about that thing in another video in the future. Once the player beats Mecha Bowser, the robots are safe and the story comes to an end. Oh wait, all the robots are stuck on a conveyor belt that will never stop moving, so they'll have to keep moving for the rest of their lives. Oh. Well, at least I killed Mecha Bowser.
Boo! You stink!
The next mission involves the player collecting silver stars on a huge 8-bit Mario planet. Okay, if that doesn't shout creativity, then let me be...
Struck by a flying ice cream truck. And live!
And the final mission changes up the toy theme to a candy and ice cream theme. All the levels start off at the same train station planet because each of the levels has its own story. Notice how each of the launch stars are placed on the same planet but are on different parts of the planet for each mission. Each launch star represents a different story to go and follow, which is brilliant. I don't know if Nintendo did this on purpose, but I'm gonna pretend like they did. Oh wait, I almost forgot to talk about the Purple Coin Challenge. Everyone remembers this planet because of the insanely hard Purple Coin Time Trial Challenge you had to do. Remember how I said you had to get 5 silver stars on an 8-bit Mario? Well, in this mission, you have to get 100 purple coins on an 8-bit Luigi. Now, what makes this star so hard to get is the fact that once a player hits the disappearing platforms, they are permanently gone. And once a player hits the spinning platforms, they are permanently spinning. So collecting these coins can get very tricky. And to top it all off, instead of there being lava like on the Mario side, the Luigi side has a liquid that if the player touches it, it instantly kills him. This is definitely the hardest purple coin challenge in Super Mario Galaxy.
As you can see, some of the levels from Super Mario Galaxy have a lot more thought put behind them than you might have originally thought. Now, I know for a fact that I didn't know a lot of the stuff about Toy Time Galaxy, and of course there are a bunch of other levels that I could talk about in this kind of detail, but I didn't because I didn't want to make this video too long. Anyway, what do you think about this topic? I thought it was pretty interesting. You should let me know in the comments below. Also, speaking of the comments, make sure you let me know in the comments if you liked this video, or if you didn't like this video. Please let me know what I did right and what I did wrong about this video. Also, if you want to support the channel, make sure to go subscribe and to like the video. And one last thing too, make sure you suggest for me to do another video that you'd like to see, if you want to of course. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. My name's Ryan Kelly, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!
Wow, we are at the end of yet another video. Congratulations, by the way, for watching the whole video. That really means a lot to me. Anyway, here are 2 videos. They're both going to be Know Your Bosses because, you know, I like Know Your Bosses, and I want you guys to check them out because, you know, it's Know Your Bosses. Anyway, I want to tell you guys something. You know how I've been saying I have been having scoliosis in, like, all the videos? Scoliosis is not a real term. I don't remember the real term, but it's not scoliosis. I just had it, like, I was going to say it, but I completely forgot what it was. It's not scoliosis. It's related to scoliosis. It's when your spine makes a C. And I've been getting it recently because of my desk thing. I mean, I already had it, but it was like a 5% one, so it wasn't anything serious. But I just learned today, actually, that I've been saying it wrong this whole time. So it's gonna be a little confusing hearing that in like the next few videos, because I've been shooting these out of order. This is the video that's coming out in the first week of November, as you guys are probably aware. I've already shot the last 2 videos for November. I don't know why I did this really weird, but I did. So you'll notice I got a haircut in this video and the next video, but not for the 3rd and the 4th video. It's weird how I did this. I don't know why I did it like this. But anyway, I just wanted to clear up that back thing, just so you guys know that I don't have scoliosis, because scoliosis is not a real thing apparently. So I've been probably looking like the hugest fool on the internet. Actually, no, I doubt that. There's probably a lot of other people who've been looking like bigger fools than I have. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to click another one if you want to see more of my content. Now, I'm going to go peace out because I'm really tired.